Hey everybody, this is Barry. Welcome to video number 4. Recapping from last week, I was so screwed up that basically college just sucked. There were some highlights, but overall, bleak. After college, things got much better for a while. I had this great job at a really cool software company. When I was 24, I became a manager, which I loved. Life was good. Of course, I wasn't really happy about being single. Like in college, I dated a few times, it never worked out, it never felt good, and just like in college, I never considered that I might be gay. But overall, life was great. Money, independence, freedom, I loved my job. It was pretty easy to distract myself from the dating problems. Until I turned 27. That's when that Disney internal programming started to surface again. I have to get married. Note that I did not ask myself, do I want to get married? Or why do I want to get married? I was like a non-questioning religious person. It was as if the Bible said, thou shalt marry by the time you turn 30, an extroverted, highly educated, professional, Jewish, of course, woman. But how am I going to find this wife? Needed to find a wife. Dating wasn't working. What if I don't find a wife? I was freaking out. This was anxiety. So I came up with what became affectionately known as the 5% plan. Went like this. If you introduced me to someone and we dated and eventually and ultimately got married, you would get 5% of the wedding gifts. It was like a bounty. It was your reward. It was your incentive. At this point, I'm living in New York. I'm single. I'm vice president of a different software company now. I actually had the ultimate status symbol. I had a phone installed in my car. Somewhere between the 5% plan and the car phone, the fix-ups just started rolling in. I had 40 or 50 dates over a year, 2-year period. And of course, they were all first dates. Didn't need to go on any second dates. I wasn't dating to find people, that I would like or to have fun. I was interviewing for my wife. That very specific wife that I was pre-programmed to find. And then one night, I was driving home from a date. And I remember where I was, what kind of car I was in, what highway I was on. It was the Long Island Expressway, actually, in New York, coming from Manhattan to Long Island. And I was stunned. There was nothing obviously wrong with this person. She met all the criteria. So we started dating. Our family was thrilled. Our friends liked each other. And by the way, all the warning signs, all the unhappiness, it was there. It was all there from way before we got married. But I didn't feel like I had a choice. I had to get married. That's what was expected. That's what I expected of myself. So we followed the plan that all of our family and all of our friends expected us to follow. We moved in together. We got engaged. And a little bit later at our wedding, I had this big check made up. And we gave 5% of our wedding gifts to a charity chosen by the person who introduced us. All right, check this out. March 14th, 1992. I was 30. Check this out. Finally, a lot of people have asked how we met. And those people who know how we met have asked who was getting the 5%. For those of you who don't know what the big cheer is about, it's about 10 years ago, I'm not sure exactly. I was single, and I wanted to meet someone like Rich enumerated the qualities I was looking for quite well. And I just, as a way of just a good conversation piece, I guess, I told everyone around that if you would introduce me to someone and we dated and went out and eventually if we'd get married, your reward or your incentive for introducing us would be 5% of the wedding gifts. This is a little embarrassing, so very nice. So it became a euphemism. I spoke to my aunt one time in Israel. I don't know if you remember, Olivia. And you said, so is anyone getting the 5%? It was a way of saying, are you seeing anybody? Without coming right up. And when I found out, by the way, it's 5% of my wedding gift? And for those who didn't read the fine print, by the way, gifts from parents and grandparents were excluded. That's where all engagement gifts and shower gifts and so on, wedding gifts only. And so We would like to introduce the person who introduced John and I. Do you have a drum roll? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I love that clip. Getting married that day was the single biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life. But the wedding itself was a blast. Next week, divorce, the single most difficult, horrible, excruciatingly painful thing I have ever gone through in my entire life. Don't forget to please like if you liked the video, subscribe, comment. Thank you very much. See you next week.